Yo, what up, everyone? This is Brian Bracamontes, also known as Teleco760. Subscribe to or follow my YouTube channel, Twitch channel, and Instagram.
I don't. Welcome to another gameplay of War Thunder. This is the 14th episode, I believe. Okay, seasoned logins. Okay. Let's do another lesson on another plane. Let's learn about another plane. So I did this one yesterday, or yeah, last vid. So we'll do this one right here. Information. Here we go. The TBD-1 Devastator is a rank 1 American torpedo bomber with a battle rating of 1.3 ABRB and a 1.7 SB. It was introduced in update 1.53 Firestorm. The TBD-1 is the first usable bomber in the U.S. aircraft lineup. While the OS-2Us and the SB-2Us are capable of bombing, they cannot carry a torpedo or up to 16,000 pounds. 725 kilograms of bombs. Devastator is adept at bombing either naval or land-based targets on maps with naval ships. Torpedoes require the little naval bomber to release from a very low altitude, a maximum of 340 feet or 820 feet, depending on the torpedo used. For the pilots who prefer using bombs, they can be just as easily dropped on ships as on land-based vehicles. The aircraft needs to fly quite low to the ground to ensure greater accuracy. The lone offensive machine gun does not offer much, but can be effectively used to pick off damaged ground targets or even damage a critical module on an enemy fighter. The lone rear-facing dorsal machine gun is not a miracle worker, though it does a good job of making it difficult for enemy fighters to sit on the TBD-1's tail. The aircraft is quite maneuverable and can quickly whip around to attempt a second bombing run on a target if there are any bombs left over. Though the state of the art when developed, this bomber was quickly outdated, but that did not stop it from being kept in service at the beginning of World War II. While in War Thunder, this bomber might seem to be an easy target for new pilots. Those with some practice under their belt can utilize this as a very effective early bomber, racking up destroyed ground vehicles and anti-aircraft artillery targets. You can also use the fact that you look like a fighter to blend in. Flight performance: 2,500 meters, 312 kilometers an hour, turn time 19 seconds, max altitude 6,000 meters, type radial, cooling system air, takeoff weight 4 tons, blah blah blah. Details: torpedo runs are speciality of the TBD-1. The TBD-1 setting up for torpedo run against Japanese warships in the Pacific. Skip to usage in battles. The first thing a pilot would notice about the TBD in gameplay is its rubber banding tendency to return a stable speed of about 250 kilometers an hour. The aircraft has mediocre energy retention, especially in turn or when coming out of a dive. However, it is stable and easy plane to fly even in realistic battles. Strangely enough, the TBD has awesome acceleration from a standing start. The acceleration peters off after about 140 kilometers an hour, just above its stall speed. but makes it a nice plane to take off, especially from carriers. The armament on this plane is very bad and will get shot down if engaged with the fighter. The TBD is a very attractive target for fighters, so climb to an altitude of 5,000 meters. When dropping bombs, decrease your throttle to 50% as the bombs are more accurate when flying slow. This aircraft is best used in ground strike role carpet bombing ground targets with a large quantity of smaller bombs available out of the box. In this role, it performs respectively. It features a single 12.7mm machine gun attached to the starboard side of the engine with a generous ammo load, but although the TBD has good turning radius, it is not recommended to engage as a fighter. A rear gunner also wields a 7.62mm machine gun with a good coverage angle, but no coverage under the tail. The 7.62 machine gun is a welcome addition to keep enemies off the TBD's tail, but its rate of fire and damage potential are quite mediocre. Aim precisely if you want to hit and spare your ammo. It is important to note that the TBD suffers from extremely fragile flaps and gear, at least in realistic and simulator battles. Even combat flaps will break off at any speed above 210 kilometers an hour, while the gear rips at about 180. Manual engine control, whatever. Pros and cons: easily capable of flying back to base with one wing. Has a bomb sight. Has an arrestor hook for carrier landing. Very stable and easy to fly. Very maneuverable for a bomber. Very good turn and roll rate. Carries a decent quantity of bombs without requiring any research. Great standing acceleration. Cockpit offers decent visibility, excellent low speed handling and low stall speeds. Great aircraft for pilots to learn how to use torpedoes. Cons: it's prone to swing snapping when pulling 3Gs, flying at mid to high speeds. Poor overall armament with limited defense coverage, with a single 12.7mm in front and a 7.62mm in the rear. Low sustainable cruise speed, 200 to 250 kilometers an hour. Very bad energy retention. Bombs are mounted on external pylons. A dive bomber with a rather low wing rip speed and without any air brakes. No gun sight in cockpit other than the scope, with an extremely limited and very shaky field of view. Does not come with its navy blue camouflage, unlike other US Navy planes. Fragile flaps and landing gear. Gunner has no armor protection. Alright, history. The active duty life of the TBD-1 Devastator was a relatively short one, in which it went from being the Navy's most advanced aircraft in service to be outdated only 3 years later and then removed from active service within 5 years. Though seeing limited action during World War II and recorded performance as abysmal, later was vindicated when documentation recorded that the U.S. Mark 13 torpedo, one of the main suspended armaments of this aircraft, was to share much of this blame, as their failure rate, sinking, not exploding, running cold, not running true, porpoising, was extremely high. The Devastator had a strong start as a winner of the U.S. Navy competition for a new carrier-based bomber. The aircraft included many firsts for the Navy's, as the TBD-1 was a monoplane manufactured from all metal, no fabric covering for any surfaces, and hydraulically folding wings to follow stowage of more aircraft on the carrier. The Devastator had a crew of 3. The pilot would fly the aircraft and operate a single forward-facing machine gun, while Bombardier, who sat in the center of the cockpit, would lay prone on the bottom of the aircraft and would aim the northern bomb sight located under the pilot's seat through a window in the belly of the aircraft. The third crew member was the radio operator. Rear gunner who also operated a single machine gun in the dorsal turret to fend off any attacking enemy aircraft. Total 129 TVD-1 units were purchased and delivered to the U.S. and were farmed out to several aircraft carriers such as the notable Enterprise, Lexington, Wasp, and Hornet. Unfortunately, the Navy realized by 1940 that the Devastator was not the front-line bomber it needed. In its replacement, the Grumman TBF Avenger was not yet at a stage where it could be operational. Though outclassed by many Japanese fighters, the TBD-1 was still pressed into active service. However, as an example, 41 were deployed during the Battle of Midway, with only 4 returning to carriers. Though other factors contributed such as miscommunication and uncoordinated sorties, the Devastators flew without fight cover and were easily picked off when lining up for a torpedo. Torpedo runs, often flying in a straight line, are at around 185 kilometers an hour or 115 miles per hour. Ship batteries also had an easy time bearing down on the slow and predictable torpedo runs. Though the attacks were not a complete waste, as Devastator attacks tied up the Imperial Japanese Navy and their protective fighters, which allowed late arriving SPD Dauntless dive bombers to inflict massive damage on the IGN carriers, with very little resistance allowing them to carry out more effective attacks. The Battle of Midway showed the technological age of the Devastator, and the Navy elected to withdraw the remaining TBD-1s from active service and relegate them to training duty for both pilots and mechanics, while others were used by firefighters to practice extinguishing aircraft fires. All surviving Devastators are unsalvageable wrecks. The U.S. Navy will not relinquish ownership and thus cannot be salvaged, with one sitting in the Atlantic Ocean off Miami, Florida, USA, another in the Pacific Ocean just off the coast of Mission Beach, California, USA, 2 more in Halute Lagoon in the Marshall Islands, and 7 resting near the USS Lexington on the ocean floor of the Coral Sea. And that's pretty much it. Alright. Let's get back to this. 12 minutes. Oh, I read that faster than the other times. Let's see. To battle. Let's do this.
Airfield. We've got to regain control of it immediately.
This one's fast. Really? What the fuck? He would have gotten
We're winning.
asshole. You know, nothing I could have done. I was too far away from base, and my fucking motor wings were fucking around. Yeah, they're fucked. Oh, I could get back in with this one.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close. Attack the enemy.
I shouldn't have gone after him in a turn fight.
Captured the airfield. We need to act, and fast. Somebody attack him! airfield. We've got to act fast. We've captured the airfield. Now we need to hold it.
Attack the enemy!
A little more effort, and victory will be ours. The airfield is ours. We've got to hold it.
How did I know that was gonna happen? Shouldn't have done that.
The enemy has captured the airfield. We can't let them keep it.
Cover's almost completed, compressor almost there, and research unit almost there. The pilot or logistics, weapon maintenance, stamina is better. Alright. Let's do this.
Somebody attack him! Victory is near.
On the enemy. They're winning.
close enough. No kills. Wow. That's bullshit.
The enemy.
Better win.
The enemy is winning.
No! No kills or no destroyed planes. One target destroyed? That's it? Oh, well. Okay, whatever. Complete compressor. Sweet. Okay, so about that. It's working on that, but I don't want to work on that. That's last, so I'm not even going to be using this. Maybe I'll start using it, like, maybe, I don't know. I need wings repair, definitely. We're almost there. Alright, crew. This one. Pilot. I got 53 points. I could keen vision. Skill affects the pilot's visual range in the direction he is looking, i.e. the maximum distance at which he can detect the enemy in front of himself. The skill allows to increase the range of detection up to 2 times upon identical weather conditions, position of the sun, and altitude difference between the 2 aircraft. Okay. Awareness. This skill affects the range at which enemies are detected in the vicinity around the vehicle, but not directly in front of it. Thus, the higher the skill, the earlier the markers for enemies become visible. This skill also allows to increase the range of detection up to 2 times. That's cool. Defensive armament. Ooh, those are cheaper. So I'll probably work on these first. G tolerance, definitely. Okay, so G tolerance. Tolerance of positive and negative G forces. In the mouse aim mode, this skill affects control at accuracy of the aircraft. Okay. Let's do that. Nothing else I can increase. Battle. Okay, so the less damage my planes take or destruction, then that means the more silver lines, the currency in this game. Silver lines up there. You can see that. The less of it I spend, okay, domination. Capture and hold the airfield. They're going to be coming from over here, and the aircraft from over here. So go a little bit left. We took over.
The enemy is winning! entered the airfield. We need to regain control of it immediately.
Let's go. Oh, they got more kills than us, huh? Statistics 4. I'm good. I killed one for each plane. I did my job. Well, actually, minus because they gave me my plane back. Purchase, yes. Nine, 8, 7, 10. Cool. Airfield? Yep.
The enemy has captured the airfield. We can't let them keep it.
Fuck!
The enemy is winning.
Thank you! Sorry!
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
almost there. I think I could squeeze in another one. Nah. I'll just stop streaming and restream.